What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with part, I want to say 58 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Archaon the Everchosen Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, a bit of a dwarf-heavy episode as we destroyed Thorgrim and Thoric's armies, and I believe at this point, pretty much everything north of Skavenblight has fallen to the tide of chaos. Only Athelloren remains as a holdout, and everybody else is slowly but surely heading southward. I did try to end the turn between episodes while doing some admin, like moving around our million lords and follower lords, but it looks like Settra decided to sally out and attack Demahar Crowbrother. He is level 18, so a couple of these battles should hopefully level him up to 20 to become a Demon Prince of Khorne, but for now, it's time to fight Settra. I'm actually surprised that he sallied out with this army of his, but pretty much every army tries to fight the Bloodletter army because they're fragile, and makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. We'll hopefully have a good time against Settra here. 851 weapon strength. I wonder how Demahar will be able to fight him well or not so well. Let's find out.
Litter the battlefield with their mangled corpses. Pile their skulls at the throne of Khorne.
Alrighty, here we go. I am surprised but very happy that Settra decided to sally out. After all, it doesn't seem like it would be in his character to sit behind the walls, rather than take the fight to us. He's also pretty full of himself, so, you know. Anyway, this should be an interesting fight. You get a lot of units to contend with, and artillery pieces when do Shapti with Great Bow, which would be very, very threatening to our Bloodletters. Thus, we are approaching it thusly. The Chaos Warriors of Khorne, together with most of our units, are going straight up the center towards the enemy, while all 6 of our units of Bloodletters move hidden through the enemy tree line. They're going to avoid fire from the Screaming Skull catapults, and then they're going to hit the catapults and the Necropolis Knights in the flanks as soon as they can, and allow space for a couple more of them to get the other Screaming Skull catapult. At least that's the plan. We'll see if it works out. We got reinforcements in the form of our Chaos Swords and Hounds of Decay, but we're not using them, they're just here. We're keeping it nice and coordinate. Anyway, gonna charge directly towards the enemy line with Demahar himself. He does want to evolve after all, and he's gotta earn the right to become a Demon Prince with some heroics. Looks like our Exalted Bloodletters have been sighted by the enemy Necropolis Knights, who get the Neru's Incantation of Protection and Joff's Cursed Blades as well, but it doesn't look like they really want to contend with the Exalted Bloodletters, and after a quick charge, will back off. This leaves the enemy Screaming Skull catapults unguarded, and whereas the Exalted Bloodletters will face off against the Necropolis Knights, the regular Bloodletters can run free and kill the artillery. We wouldn't waste Exalted Bloodletters on that, especially with all that armor piercing they have. Anyway, the main lines have now engaged. Got to be careful with our war shrines getting surrounded. But at least with us hitting the enemy backlines, there's not enough enemy range units to focus down our war shrines, at least too easily. Out here, I believe an enemy unit of Ushapti with Great Bow gets absolutely ripped apart by our units, I should say, there's 2 here, of Bloodthirsters. They're probably still upset at how much damage they took to that single unit of Phoenix Guard a few episodes ago, and thus wanted to show that they can do good work. Alright, now pretty much everybody's engaged. We are trying to chase enemies down a little bit, however. It doesn't seem that Settra wants to fight Demahar, who keeps chasing him around while Settra continues to back off. In fact, there's a lot of chariots and other cavalry units on the field, and they seem to want to back off. It does make sense that they prefer to cycle charge and all that, but I'm sure it's frustrating for the Khornate units in particular. Alright, come on, just fight Necropolis Knights. There we go. No, they're gonna try to back out of there again. Not really seem to be doing damage by sort of running through our lines in this manner, at least not at the current time. So we can simply continue to give chase. Well, we'll just leave one of the units of Exalted Bloodletters to specifically give chase to them while Demahar continues chasing Settra around. Settra, stop running. Oh, I don't know, he's not a chariot, so he should be using it to kill off droves of infantry, but come on. Stop running from Demahar. Maybe we should put a Tormentor Sword on our hero in this army, just so that he can stop enemies. Anyway, with the enemy Acropolis Knights continuing to run away, we're going to send in the big boys to lead their cute little Bloodletter cousins, and bring a few of those Necro Serpents down. Right, quick. Can't run if you're dead after... Okay, they're already dead because they're the Tomb Kings, but can't run if you're destroyed, I guess, after all. Anyway, the Chaos Warriors continue to hold the line, but the Chaos Warriors at least have been taking quite a bit of damage in this particular battle. We can see a lot of them are down to about half HP, so is one of the Chaos War Shrines. But otherwise the battle is going reasonably well. The Necropolis Knights still running from our Bloodletters, and this one's running from our regular unit of Bloodletters. Not even an Exalted one. I mean, this one's running from an Exalted one, so that's hardly surprising, but damn. And Settra. Since you don't want to fight Demahar, or at least since you're going to keep running, we're just going to drop you. We gave him a chance, but no. The Bloodletters drop down upon him, and he goes from half HP to 0 HP after a few hits very, very quickly. I just wanted the duel, otherwise, you know. But oh well, not a big deal. We've got the rest of his army to take our wrath out upon. Take out our wrath, but whatever. Ushabti's still fighting, and they've been doing a pretty great job at damaging those Chaos Warriors of Khorne, as we have seen. All that massive amounts of armor. 272 now. But the Ushabti have armor piercing, so good for them. Armor piercing and splash damage, I should say. With that, the main force of Settra's army crumbles. It looks like the Necropolis Knights have sort of finally been caught. Probably got a cycle charge in and are continuing to attempt to back off. This is the most cowardly army that Demahar has faced off against. Most definitely. And I'm a little bit more used to the AI being very much a coward and not wanting to fight in minor settlement battles where they just continue backing off towards the center of the battle. But this is a field battle. Feels very, very odd. Alright, well, they're gonna run, they're gonna crumble, they're all going to die in the battle. It will be ours, and Settra will suffer a defeat that will be remembered as an embarrassment. Perhaps we can add to his list of titles something that confers this one. A heroic victory rather than a close victory for a Khornate army for once. That's nice. Though I'm sure they prefer it close and Pyrrhic, which we've also had a lot in. That gave us plenty of levels. 21, meaning we can now level up. Granted, we'll lose a lot of levels and the Bloodletters will get weaker because of it, but well, what can you do? The battle itself was reasonably fun. I was getting a little bit annoyed that the enemy kind of felt like they didn't want to fight. Settra kept running away from Demahar for the entire battle, and all those darn Necropolis Knights seemed to want to do anything other than fight the Bloodletters. Maybe it's not the best matchup for them, the Necropolis Knights, I mean, but they should still stop running. Just fight and die. It's not like you had anywhere else to go, especially the ones that were running from the regular Bloodletters of Khorne, not even the Exalted ones. You can fight the regular Bloodletters, I would think. But anyway, I think we can't sack this, even though I'm sure we'd like the XP we are going to occupy as we just landed here. And what is this? Numos. Oh, look, they finally gotten to Numos. We've been waiting for that for like I don't know, ages now, and they're gonna retake that, I presume, but not to worry, Norvegicust is heading on down. These guys want a peace treaty, but I'm willing to bet that they won't become our vassal, even if we trade them... Oh, we can't even trade them, Sartosa. Well then. Not likely. Not likely. Aranessa will bring it down one more time. And let's see if anybody else is willing to attack us. Sildra Tor, yes, I see that you're still alive, and I also see that you are still not our vassal. 33, eh? Well, they won't do it for money, which ain't great for them. Yeah, we barely get any value out of it. Alright, fine, fine, fine. I don't know who we'd peel away to, you know, destroy them, but we'll probably have to if we end up full world conquesting. And Astragruel, Iron Pick. Oh, that's unfortunate. I probably should have manually given back the army, and I had to just take the army again. I can't move this turn, but you can raid our own territory-ish, and hopefully that'll work out. Anyway, Settra the Imperishable, more charge bonus for the Cornate army, makes sense to me, and Path to Glory for Kygast Sulth. Okay, everybody getting Path to Glory these days. Norse Berserker Magister, a Chaos War Shrine for Rulik the Skull Polisher. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense, another War Shrine. Juggernaut for Urkathal Deathcaller, that's you, and hey, the other Entyro is nearly ready to join us here. Province secured Arana Mountains, settlement sacked Numas. Oh, they sacked it, they didn't take it. Okay. Ready for duty. Oh, right, the other exalted hero of Nurgle. I was gonna pop you into Festus's army, but honestly, I'm not even sure it's needed anymore. Head out to join these little armies instead. Alright. They could use an exalted hero of Nurgle, at least one of them I'm sure can be sort of a an actual army. Corrupted offerings, please, and you know what, let's do Bloodied Blade of Khorne, as we have become blessed by Khorne with the Demon Prince. Now, we can reach Magritta. That does appear to be poorly defended, though. Right. Well, this can still destroy barricades. Go to Magritta, please. I don't actually want it either, because it's a porty, so we can't use those that iron, so we'll probably just give it to our Skaven vassals, and frankly, same with Bilbali. Alright, now, frankly, not really worth fighting. We'll head down and fight Archaon, but we will... Oh, wait, we should fight and then ascend, I think. Alright, because it'll screw our auto-resolve over, because we'll lose Chaos Vanguard and Savage Bloodlust. Yeah, fine. Alright, just auto-resolve this. Wait. Is there another army nearby waiting to immediately destroy us? No, it doesn't look like it. Alright. I'm sure the Cornate forces would nonetheless enjoy auto-resolve. If the auto-resolve is saying that this army will win, then this army will definitely win, because usually, yeah, auto-resolve don't like these guys so much. Alright, now that that's taken, you can Path to Glory yourself into Demonhood. Alright, there we go, our first Demon Prince of Khorne. Oh, you got Iron Skin, very nice. Don't really care about the... lose a battle. Yeah, good luck making a Cornate Lord lose a battle on purpose. Unbreakable, Impenetrable, Survivor, and Iron Skin, all told, all pretty darn good traits. He doesn't get the Regeneration trait, unfortunately, but that one's really hard to find. I don't think we've gotten it a single time yet, so yeah. Now, we will want to immediately get Savage Bloodlust, because our Bloodletters, well, they really need it. And Hearts of Iron is great, and we do want Root Marcher, but I think we nonetheless want Chaos Vanguard, so that our units in this army aren't so badly beat up by the loss of stuff. Anyway, Entyro, and then Entyro 2, Entyro Adun. Close enough. You go here to Magritta, and summon yourself another one of those plague doggos. Yeah, I really want to not use Marauders anymore, just because it's annoying to level them constantly, and I also want to replace the Marauder gift with the gift for the Chaos Warriors, Chosen Knights, and Aspiring Champions, the significant increase to their XP, but that basically prevents the Marauders from ever healing up anymore, and we do still have a few armies with them, so trying to get rid of them all over time. Now, We should have another battle on our hands. The question is where. These guys are still outside in Numas. We cannot, unfortunately, reach them, but Norvegicus can continue moving forward towards them. And Valmir, ooh, their doggo for you, sir. Find these everywhere, which are now at 90% physical resistance. I mean, it's max at 75, but at least it won't be, it can't be lowered anymore. Lovely. And, I guess we switch positions, and you can get the Manticore as well, because they also have that massive physical resistance, and if we're gonna auto-resolve something, I'm willing to bet that that'll be alright. Glugmir. Get another Dragon Ogre if you want. Honestly, this Aspiring Champion kind of doesn't feel like it's in the right place here. Yeah, fine. Replace the Aspiring Champion, or they could be his own, like, personal guard, right? Everybody else's monsters. I don't know. Go to Lost Plateau. It really does not matter much, at least not until we run into an actual foe. Just auto-resolve that. And sack it, and we might actually have to give you a Follower Lord. I mean, you're not a real army, but honestly now you kind of are. A random BS go. Certainly working out for you. And hey, they've got 2 lords here, which means we should be able to get the garrison outside the settlement. Plus the stack there. That'll be an actual contest for you. Sadly, the trolls won't be able to be upgraded to armored trolls, but, well. Anyway, let's start from the top, and at the top is the Everchosen, who has, ooh, what do we have here? Defenders at King's Glade, plus about 2 stacks. Will they be willing to fight Archie, is the question. I think we're better off not risking it, and we should attack Vinny here directly. Actually, no, wait, no, not Vinny. Let's attack King's Glade directly. At least this way, they probably won't be able to run. I do say probably. And we do have levels, but frankly, does this army really need them? Close victory, low casualties, but that's a lot of Vampire Coast, and we'll probably, possibly, and never be able to get another battle against the Vampire Coast. I mean, I did say this last time we fought Terranessa, but it's still, it'll happen at any moment, so I'll fight him again. Go. Alrighty, here we go. Archaon himself has not gotten the chance to fight Vampire Coast, so we may as well take it here, especially after what he did to the Empire of Undeath. Now, we have been doing the thing where we've been separating Archaon's army into effectively 2 forces lately, the cavalry force and the infantry force, and we're going to continue in that light. The infantry force can take care of the reinforcing army, and the 2 main armies can be handled by our cav. Archaon is moved in by himself. Looks like some Felbaths decided to get in his way, but he's close enough to drop a Searing Doom upon the enemy artillery. And that will do enough damage to get the Chaos Spawn summoned on top of them, and them to no longer fire. Not that I think that the mortars in particular would be all that threatening to the knights. They might be threatening to the infantry a little bit more at least, but probably not to the knights. Actually, out of curiosity, we got 148 armor on Chaos Knights, Once again, we have 136 armor on Marauders, so barely more armor than Marauders now. The Chaos Knights need the same treatment as Chosen, where they get the buffs for the armor, I think. Especially if you do that sort of thing. But anyway, we have now engaged the enemy army everywhere with our knights, and our knights have by and large separated themselves from each other. All of the individual knightly units are sort of fighting their own mini battles, not really supporting each other all that much, and this will hopefully allow each individual Chaos Knight unit to shine a little bit more, and we'll see which one does the best after this particular contest is over. Now, looks like we're getting some hits on our dragon up in the sky, our great chaos dragon. Ooh, Cornate units ripping into some zombie pirate gunnery mobs and 2 zombie pirate gunnery mobs, which are getting obliterated here. Now the dragon does suffer a little bit of damage. I think it's so far been the only thing that's suffering damage, though hardly surprising with all the enemy range units targeting it. Otherwise, our knights, by the looks of it, are pretty much fine. About 10% maybe loss of HP on the Craven Companions, but not a single unit lost as well. The infantry wade into the foray as well as the enemy army arrives onto the field, but they are facing off against aspiring champions and carry the hammer as well as the giants. And this is all going to go horrifically bad for them. And considering it's ranged infantry versus melee infantry, they'll probably die considerably faster than the other enemy army will, because we don't have the knights to get in each other's way. Although it's not like that's stopping them either, as the balance of power has shifted to about 90% in our favor, and it's not looking like the battle will last too much longer than about 3 minutes. Alright, great job to the Nurglish forces. Or Nurglish Knights, I guess. And the regular Chaos Knights have been held back by some rotting Prometheans, which do take a while to bring down. Fair enough. Out here on the rightmost flank, the Knights of Tzeentch led by the Chronicler as well. And just trying to keep all of the heroes with their individual knight units, except I guess the Slaaneshi hero, because he's on a war shrine with the infantry. But good enough, he's there in spirit. Alright, and I do believe with that, the enemy army is broken. We're going to chase down some man-eaters and Sartosans, whatever non-undead units remain, but we can do that off-screen. And great job, Archie, but ain't it always. Alright, very nice. 0 losses, none of the knights died, and I'm always very curious to see how the knights perform as compared to each other, and it looks like this time around the Festerfume chargers with 33.6k damage will carry the day and be victorious in terms of killing and damage dealt. Very nice. I did forget Archie's little cute pet dragon in that particular fight, so it did take a few extra shots from the zombie pirate gunnery mobs with handguns. Well, I didn't forget it, but I left it to hover in the air just a little bit too long, and HP will drop very quickly against handgunners on these big old flying barns, so hardly surprising. Anyway, we are going to... I guess it depends. Did any enemy units survive? I don't know. Sack? And no move. Don't move. Move. Don't move. Now you move. You little... Oh, I kept spamming the don't move button, too. I guess it's somewhere else. I don't know. Okay, who is this? Who got the chariot? I don't know who you are. Oh. Oh, no. You definitely should not have a chariot. Chaos steeds, sir. Please. None of that. Alrighty, we're going to have Archie take Kingsglade then and occupied, and then we'll head on over to Oak of Ages, Crag Hulls, blah 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 blah. Frankly, because of the relative effectiveness of the Pirates of Sartosa, can't believe I forgot the name of the faction after just doing a campaign with them, and talking about them like over the last few episodes repeatedly, and this episode. But anyway, since they were able to destroy Orion and take the Oak, I think Athaloran just really never recovered from it. Durthu's the only one that survived, and he did manage to confederate the other 2 Wood Elven factions, but he's just not in a great place for all this. And look at his army, it doesn't even have a bunch of treemen and treekin in there. What is this? It's not very Durthu-y. Anyway, let's continue, shall we? Azazel. To where we do have this, and that's a heck of a fight. I think we'll do that fight, but I want Azazel at full HP for it, because it might actually be a toughie. It might actually be worth fighting. So, how much mana you got? Yeah, you're basically full. Winds of Magic is blowing here as well. So go to here, outside of Itza, with Glugmir. We'll do a battle for this, let's say... Probably not this episode, probably next episode, I would imagine. And that'll completely destroy this lizard faction. Now, Kolek, you're gonna have to... Ugh, you're gonna run, ain't you? Well, no choice, can't just leave this army running around. Hopefully not too far. This will basically waste Kolek's turn, unfortunately, but there's not much we can do about it. How to resolve that? And at least there's no filthy peasants running around in our back lines. Alright, enemy killed in battle and another forbidden rod. We have plenty. Kolek's mana is fine, stay in your current stance, and I guess we're heading to Schlanwupek. Bregun does need to be taken, though alas, I fear that this army wouldn't be able to do it. Actually, funnily enough, it might be able to do it if I manually do it, but I don't know, it seems like waste of on-screen time. I might do it off-screen, though. Oh, actually, looks like it will be able to. Yeah, that's why I got these guys. Very nice. And just occupied. Oh, that was the last territory of... Oh, well, no wonder their army wasn't doing anything. Fare thee well to the board, low errant. An ignominious end for you, is certainly. Hellfire. Word. I don't know. I said Hellfire, just read it. Alright, anyway, let's continue. Gulator. I do believe you're headed to Karak, which is the last bastion of the OG dwarfs. They die here as... Is this worthy of a fight? Heroic victory. It won't destroy any of our troops. You know what? Let's keep this here, because this will be the last... It won't technically be the last fight against the dwarfs in general, because we still have Thorak alive. And the Greybeard's prospectors don't count as dwarfs, because they're scum. I don't know, I might fight this. I'll think about it. Let's see what else we got on field here. We do have the battle with Kuchar, which will probably be more interesting. It is decisive victory and low casualties now, but that's a lot of lizards. And I think this is actually lying in our favor for once. And, oh, right, you, little army. I'd still have some use for you. Request army. It's not like we're gonna build any other stuff. And camp. Keep it there, and we'll send you to Demon's Gate to help everybody else out. I think this is the fight to take. I'm not 100% sure about the other fight. And there's a lot of moves to make, but most of those can be made between the episodes. Let's do Kuchar's battle right now then, shall we? Plus, I always love watching his army fight. If that's a lot of lizards, soon it'll be a lot of dead lizards. Let's hope for a Pyrrhic victory. Go. Alrighty, here we go. I am very excited for this particular battle. I think it's going to be a good one. We have an enemy stack that I would say is probably better than our stack. At the very least, the full stack of enemy skinks combined with the rather elite garrison with their Temple Guard and Kroxagors and dinos and other goodies to play with. Plus, on top of that, Kuchar's army is a mobile field battle army, not really meant for sieges, though it does look really cool when it does this with the all the doggos and the chariots riding around like this. I love this army. You've done a great job, Kuchar. I love you. Alrighty, anyway. Let's get to it. We've opened the breach in the enemy's walls. Our limited number of Chaos Warriors are heading to the walls and the towers while we knock the enemy towers down with our skull cannons, but the rest are heading directly into the enemy settlement. A little bit of damage sees a Chaos Warrior, or Chaos Warriors, Chaos Spawn summoned, and the way opened for the Gorebeasts chariots, the Blood Shrines, and the Flesh Hounds to make their way into the fray. And that's not a place that the skinks want to be, that I am sure of, as they are very solid units, but they are also very fragile. Which means this is going to go poorly for them, at the very least. Around this breach, the enemy probably should have put a bunch of dinos, Kroxagors, and Temple Guard right here. near the gate specifically so that we weren't able to open a beachhead with our fast movers like this. Though perhaps the enemy wasn't expecting just how quickly we'd move into the fray, as a lot of their Temple Guard and a lot of their other units are still trying to make their way forward to where we are. Alright, very nice. A beachhead established. We've also got reinforcements arriving on the field, and while we won't be using the trolls or the Hounds of Decay, only our Cornate infantry and cavalry, that should still be good enough to help out, and every single one of these Marauder units can offer us the ability to use that sacrifice ability of theirs and reinforce our fast movers while our Chaos Warriors take the walls. Alright, looks like some Gorebeasts here facing off against the Skink Cohorts and the Kroxigors. But the Gorebeast chariots are they're very solid. They don't seem to take nearly as much damage nearly as easily as the other chariots do. And they're also not constantly getting ripped apart by the auto-resolve like the other chariots are, which is great. It's great. It's been very annoying to see the Slaaneshi chariots just constantly lose like 3 out of 4 with every single auto-resolve, regardless of how easy it is. Yeah, I remember Gorebeast chariots were kind of not worth using, but, well, I mean, this is SFO and not vanilla, so the changes to them perhaps make them a little bit more worthwhile. They've taken about 15% damage so far, but have dealt 11k damage and 53 kills. Not too bad. Rest of our units still streaming on, and the Flesh Hounds a little bit in the way of each other, but Skinks are certainly not going to be able to hold them, especially not with the Blood Shrine and War Shrine both buffing them. 4 little blobs of skinks, and then those bloodletters, as always, just having the absolute time on their lives on those motorcycles, whether they be the Skull Cannon or the Blood Shrine variety. Alright, and with the beachhead open, the Marauders of Khorne stream on into the city and start helping out with the Gorebeasts leading the way and providing mass, preventing the Kroxigors and such from charging on. And I still think that they should add the Gorebeasts as separate units. They don't necessarily need to be chariot units, but let's hope that that can be done so with the DLC. I would imagine it'll be pretty easy since they can recycle most of the animations from the Gorebeasts anyway. Frankly, they could just give the Gorebeasts the Vargulf animations because they're basically the same body structure anyway. Honestly, I haven't personally checked, but there's probably a mod out there that adds Gorebeasts that probably just use the Vargulf animations, I imagine. But anyway, looks like the enemy's having a pretty bad time. In fact, most of the enemies got off the walls before the towers got there, which means we can now reinforce the rest of our units with the Chaos Warriors and the Brass Phalanx, or rather the Bringers of Hellfire and the Brass Phalanx. All the Halberdiers here are gonna come in real handy against those Kroxies. Alright, a very, very nice brawl happening in separate locations here. More units are streaming into the city, and more of our Chaos Warriors are coming down from those walls to hit the enemy. It looks like Skinks be running, and we're going to give chase wherever they may go. 3 ways to separate ourselves. Just gotta make sure we figure out which way we send our units. Might be a little bit of a desync here, as that's a suspicious number of units kind of standing still, but hopefully it'll be fine. And yeah, definitely a desync. When I played it, this Basti was here rather than all the way over here, which is kind of interesting. Very different. I wonder, because if I ordered a bunch of units to attack it, that means they'll all move here. And I definitely didn't move the Marauder Horsemen of Khorne into melee like this, but that's fine. At the end of the day, it's still a Khornate force, and a brawl is a brawl. It's not going to be all that much different, even if the units are in different locations. And I imagine we should still be able to carry the day. Alright, looks like okay, I definitely don't remember the enemy using the Holy Stella on us here. And how's that Basti? Well, still damaged, but still fighting. Out here, the enemy lord is trapped, and we're going to hopefully knock him down. He's got another cohort of Kroxigors and Skinks as well. And the enemy has a lot of Kroxes here. But once again, it's perfect for this particular army, which has encountered a lot of large units, well, ever since it sort of started near the beginning of the campaign, and being the only Khornate army with a lot of Khornate halberds means that it's ideal for it to be here in this manner. Though I suppose that if it had a bunch of Skull Crushers, they would handle them, all the enemies, just fine as well. But the Halberdier Chaos Warriors are doing just fine against all those large units, and at, like, I don't know, a quarter of the investment of the other units. Of the Skull Crushers, I mean. Anyway, we've sent in our Skull Cannons to help out as well with the Blood Shrines, and it looks like they're ripping into some of those units of Cold One Riders. Khorne's Chosen fighting out here by themselves and relatively unsupported, but I just don't see the Cold One Riders or the Skinks knocking them out, especially as soon as the various motorcycle riders join on in. Making our way up the ramp up here, it looks like the enemy Kroxes and the Lord are either out or are running. And making our way up this ramp as well, with the Gorebeast Chariots still in the midst of the fight and still leading. 126 kills and 20k damage on you now, and they're just moving through the enemy. You don't expect chariots to do so good in a siege, do you? But these guys are definitely proven that not to always be the case. Yeah, this definitely turned into a pretty darn great battle. I'm happy with this one. Spin to win, my friend. Spin to win, whether it be... Ah, okay, there it goes. There it goes. Yeah, the desync caused the battle to end a little bit earlier. We still had a few units to destroy here, but the enemies collapsed over on these two sides, and these, what? 1, 2, 3, 4 units that were only alive due to the presence of that Reviv crystal would have shattered shortly as well. Ooh, a very nice fight indeed, and I thought I'd never see the day, but would you look at this. 211 kills, 248 kills, 19k and 40k damage on the Gorebeast Chariots, outdoing every single other thing by a pretty big margin. In fact, the 40k damage Gorebeast Chariot did twice as much as the next best unit, and 4 times as much as most of the others. Gorebeast Chariots, folks, we didn't get to enjoy them too much throughout the campaign, but damn well did they carry it here and in a siege as well. Very nice. Very nice. Not to be underestimated, I suppose. We are going to obviously occupy it because it is a dark fortress, and we captured a tier 3, and we can immediately upgrade it to tier 4, which is something. Hexus the Uncoordinated has a Manticore now. You want to be on the Manticore, or do you want to stay on the shrine? I think he wants to stay on the shrine. Keep buffing it. What the heck? 1 upkeep. Huh, weird. Oh, it's 1 more upkeep, I take it, than what you currently have? I was like, what the heck? Yeah, it's 1 more upkeep. I was like, this is confusing, man. But yeah, you probably want on the Chaos War Shrine. On the other hand, you have the regular Giver of Glory, which gives an additional 10% physical resistance, so yeah, that's fine. Buff up the blob to some degree. Anyway, with that, a very nice fight out of the way. Unfortunately, we are out of time, folks, and I am going to have to call the episode here. Next time, we continue advancing through the Southern Chaos Wastes, though by the looks of it, the lizards here are very much in trouble. I actually don't know if anybody else's balance of power looks Yeah, no, nobody else's balance of power compares to ours, but we own like half the world, and actually more than half the world, and everybody else is our allies, so that's hardly surprising. So it's hard to judge then whether the faction actually has stuff remaining or not. Anyway, as usual, I'll take care of some of the admins, which is primarily going to be the weaker auto-resolves, and then when we come back, more battles to come. I'm wondering how many episodes we have left. Gotta be around probably at least 3. It'll probably start happening really fast once Lustria is completely gone and we start arriving on the coast of the lands of the dead here, and then the jungles of the gods here. We're already starting to move southward from the Badlands, and once we clear out the Skaven and the Undead and the Wood Elves up here, we can hit Archaon from this side as well. So they're going to have a very, very bad day. Not quite yet, but it's a-coming. The bad day is always on the horizon, and chaos is coming to break the world for good. Anyway, more chaos to come. Likes and comments, all good. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.